Hey, happy Thursday. My name is Tanya. Welcome to my writing realm. I haven't gone live in quite some time, but I figured seeing as I booked off today for writing for Nano, why not jump on a live stream while I'm writing? So today I'm just going to go over my Excel tracking and share with you how I track my word count and my progress with Nano and Excel. I know that you can see a lot on the Nano website, but I'm addicted to Excel, to be honest, and sometimes I make every excuse possible to to use Excel. So, all right, I'm just going to share my screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. Present. There we go. Share screen and window. All right. So this is, I better zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So as I'm writing my high fantasy novel right now, I have a lot written already, over 22,000 words before I started Nano. So I am continuing with written chapters and starting new chapters. And so I had to kind of document my first starting count. Excuse me. So if I'm starting a new chapter, I show it as 0 words. And by the time I'm done writing in that specific session, I write down just that new word count, and it'll give me the difference. I use an Excel formula just to subtract, the finish from the start so I can see how many I've written and, of course, the date. So as you can see, I've written pretty much every day so far. Today I've only gotten 178 words, but I only started a short while ago. Okay, so at the top of the screen here, I'm just going to zoom in some more. The downside to not editing a video before you post it. This is a sum of this entire column here, which is this column here. So I can see my total word count since I started Nano. Now, of course, I've set my goal to 50,000 words, such is the goal for Nano. And then I've gotten a percentage. So I have written 30% of the 50,000 word goal. And I have 35,082 words left to write. So to get an average of how much I need to write per day to meet my goal by November 30th, I have 20 days left, and that means I have to write an average of 1,754 words per day to meet the 50,000 word goal. So now I did something a little different. I wanted to see how many words do I write per hour. So this is as of yesterday. I have spent 13.42 hours writing for Nano, which gives me an average of 1,111 words per hour. Now, I know I can type pretty fast, but when you're writing a story, sometimes you have these flushes of words where you're just flowing, and then sometimes you go back and you're kind of stalled out, or you're thinking, where am I going in this section? So I'm sure it would be higher if I was writing constantly 100% of the time during every sprint, but that's just not the reality of how the writing works. So do you guys do anything in Excel? Leave a comment. I know you might be watching this after the fact, so feel free to comment below on how you track your count, or if you just rely on Nano's website. So Nano's website is pretty cool. It does show you a lot of this stuff already, but I feel like putting it all together in one smaller area on the screen is a lot simpler to look at. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I'm tracking in Excel. This is my first time doing it for Nano. I just set this up this year. I just wanted to get a good overview, a picture. I'm just going to add my time here. Total hours, average, words per hour. That way I kind of know what these are. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but whoops. And I'm just going to make this a little bit shorter. Right. So again, I am spending most of today writing for Nano. I am going to do a couple sprints shortly, but I just wanted to kind of share this with you, and maybe it'll give you some ideas of other methods of tracking your word counts. All right, let's jump over to, I'm going to stop sharing this for the moment. All right, so what are you working on today? For me, again, like I've said, I'm working on my high fantasy novel called Blood Rose. I already had over 22,000 words written before Nano started, and I am currently at 14,918 since Nano started. That's just what Nano word count is. So I guess that means I'm around 36,000 words in my high fantasy novel. So a very long way to go. And I probably will not be done writing it by the time Nano is over. Hello, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. What are you writing today? What are you working on? How's Nano going? Yeah, I tend to do, 20-minute sprints, but I find that I work better with longer sprints. So I'm probably going to start with 25-minute sprints to see how it's going from there. Yeah. Love the word tracker. I always write mine down and lose it. Yeah, and another thing that you could do, and this is what honestly what I've done in previous years, is on my phone, I have an Android. I tend to use my little notepad that comes with the phone. And then that way, wherever I'm writing, because I tend to write on the go, I can just put little notes, date, words written, date, words written, and then I bring it into an Excel spreadsheet afterward just to add it all up before I enter it on the website. Ooh, a mystery. Mystery's awesome. I'm at 12K in my whip. It's a supernatural sci-fi fantasy. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Great idea. Yeah, you kind of got to do what works for you. I mean, you could use even just a physical little notepad that fits in your pocket or whatever and bring it around with you. But I know you can lose things easily. I mean, I know I do. So, and especially with such a busy life. So yeah, the phone notepad, that's how I've been doing it. But I know I'm writing a lot more at home this year. Sometimes I actually write at the hockey arena because both my boys are in hockey. So sometimes I'm sitting in the car with my laptop while the kids are getting dressed in the dressing room, and Dad goes in and helps them if they need it. And then I go into the arena for whatever their game time is. But the benefit to using my laptop this year is that I have it synced with my OneDrive. So anything that I write on any device that I use that I have it synced to, it's all saved. So even this spreadsheet is accessible on any of my devices, including my phone. So it kind of works for me. Yeah, great. So let's go to, I don't know, you guys ready for a sprint or do you need some more time? I'm just about ready, but I'll wait and see what you think. Just got to pull up my writing here. Oh yeah, and what are you writing in? I'm using Scrivener. I'm usually a Word girl. I'm just comfortable with MS Word. I know a lot of the functionality in it. I do my book formatting in it as well for the most part. But I just found that this high fantasy novel, with the amount of characters I have, I needed something with more organizational tools available. And this is really helping me a lot. So, I mean, eventually I'll probably flip back over to Word just to do like all the editing, because, you know, when you send it out to peer editing, not everybody has Scrivener. So you kind of have to have it in like a doc or docx format so that other people can use it. So yeah, all right. I am going to pop up our timer here. I don't have a special timer. I'm sorry. So many people have these awesome timers or little cartoons and stuff. I do not have that. So I'm just going to go with a regular, simple old timer and see how this goes. All right. Are you ready? And let's go. All right, our timer is done. And in case you didn't notice, I'm having some problems with my lights in the back. They keep falling down. Actually, when I first put up those LED lights, there was like a sticky tape thing on it, but I accidentally ripped some of it off. So it stuck for a period of time, and then I started using tape. All right, so how did everybody do? I'm just going to add this to my word count tracker and see how many words I wrote. And 12, 18. So I wrote 610 words. So my total for today so far is at 788, which isn't too terrible, I guess. I got to this weird part in my chapter, and I kind of froze for a while trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do. It's not quite like writer's block, so to speak, but it's just kind of like, where am I going with this part of the story? I have no idea. So I'm a pantser. I don't plot anything. Sometimes I'll go back afterwards, especially with high fantasy, and I'll just kind of track the main plot points just to kind of see where the storyline has gone for certain characters. And then I can kind of go from there. And there goes my lights again. So I'm having a great time. Got distracted. Writing by hand, though. How do you like writing by hand? I think there's a lot of benefits to that, like less screen time, and it's easier on your eyes. I tried that once before, and I found that my hands were getting sore from writing, but then I also had to go back and type it up anyway, so I wasn't sure if it was worth the time to do it, but I don't know, maybe you have some insight on that. Had to let the dog out twice during that sprint. Still scored 297 words. Hey, that's pretty good for having that much distraction. I know my dog is upstairs, and I've been dreading to see if she's going to be constantly interrupting me to let her outside. But it had snowed here lately, and it's a little bit on the chilly side outside, so she doesn't seem to want to be outside for much length of time. She's a little sucky baby, but of course, once the snow is actually piling up, she'll be out there playing in the snow, which will be super fun. Yes, so I'm also might be coming on this afternoon at some point as well with my friend Story Tyrant, and we'll probably do a little writing chat and do some sprints together as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do, yeah, I guess we could do one more sprint, but I'm just going to step away for a couple of minutes and then I'll be back. So I won't start the timer until I'm back. So feel free to chat or whatever, and I shall return. Sorry, I had to step away for a moment, but I am back. I see I didn't really miss much, but that's okay. Do you need more time before you start? I think I was actually mid-sentence, so I should probably, dive back in where I left off. My dog barked at me because I ran upstairs because I had to run to the bathroom. And I took off running down the hallway and she just chased me, barking at me. I'm like, hey, leave mom alone. Anyways, it was pretty cute. She's hilarious. She normally follows me around the house, although today she didn't seem to bring or come downstairs with me, which is fine. At least it's less noise and distraction while I'm writing. Okay, so I'm going to reset our timer. Restart. And I'll change our banners. Second sprint. And yeah, I guess we should be productive. I don't really have much to talk about today. I did want to say, though, I've been using Pro Writing Aid. I bought it a year, 2 years ago, the lifetime version of it. And recently it asked me to install Pro Writing Aid everywhere. So there isn't like this little icon anymore. Wherever I'm writing, it just automatically comes up with suggestions. And it's a little bit distracting while I'm writing, although it is helping me fix like simple spelling mistakes while I'm writing. So I guess it's kind of helpful. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So without further ado, let's move on to our next bout of writing. Good luck, everybody, and we'll see you soon. All right, I guess that timer is up. How did you do? I got another 610 words. That's kind of funny. 25-minute sprint number 1, 610 words. 25 sprint number 2, 610 words. How random is that? So that brings my total word count just for today to 1,398. But I do need to write much more than this because I don't often have a full day to just write. So today is that day. I am going to just write and snack and listen to music. Yes, so usually I don't listen to music when I write simply because I never put much thought into it before, but after doing the AuthorTube interviews and hearing some people's perspectives on listening to music while they write, I thought I was going to try it out. And so I started listening to some soundtracks on YouTube, like the Lord of the Rings music. So the benefit of this is I am writing high fantasy, and what better way to put me into that headspace of high fantasy than listening to Lord of the Rings music. And there's also no words or very little words in the music, and therefore it does not distract me very much. So I'm enjoying this. So that is what my plan is next, is to take a break, have a snack because I love my food, and maybe make a tea. And then I'm going to play some Lord of the Rings music and keep on writing. And then again, I'll probably come back this afternoon with my friend, Story Tyrant. I listen to music while I write, and it helps create mood. Yes, exactly. I'd never had considered that before. I once tried rainforest sounds and birds and crickets and stuff, but it just didn't make a ton of sense to me. So then when I tried the Lord of the Rings music, I was like, this is what I need because I am writing high fantasy and it makes a huge difference for me. Any kind of sound. So you enjoy having some sort of sound in the background, eh? I find it very distracting. So if I'm writing and my kids keep interrupting me, I get very frustrated. Or if I can hear them play fighting in the background, I can't write. So I try to write like when they're occupied on their own. So like if they come downstairs and do gaming, then I'm upstairs on my laptop to write. But that's why I kind of haven't listened to music, because I figured that the words and everything would bother me. But again, Lord of the Rings soundtrack, very good to write high fantasy too. Okay, so I am going to go, and I am going to take a break and eat and make a tea and stuff. I have a mild cold, so I need some like tea and honey to help my throat. So hopefully you are all doing well. Like listening to, yes, we already looked at that message. All right, so I don't know exactly what time I'll be on. I'm thinking maybe 1:30 or 2 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, I'll have my friend Tyra with me, and we'll probably do a bit of chatting about writing, and then we'll jump into some sprints, providing everything goes well today. All right, so thank you for joining me today. Good luck with your nano projects, and keep writing. Goodbye.